Describe a polycule. No, see, it's not a polycule because we were rednecks. So it's just nothing to do but drugs and each other. But it's not a polycule. We weren't advanced yet. It's a 90 IQ polycule. So that's how principled I was. I couldn't lie to my mom. My mom never told me not to take 4-ACO DMT, but she told me not to drink. My parents, I'm selling drugs and scarlet begonias by Sublime way and not in a tweaker kind of way. Ooh. See, it depends on what drugs you sell. Like mushrooms, I know like ethical drug dealers are good. I've run into a few ethical drug dealers in my lifetime. I remember I bought some MDA off this guy. I was partying with him. And I did a line of MDA. And if you've never done MDA, it's very Moorish. It's a very Moorish drug. When you come down, it's like all you can think about is taking more. And I came up and I'm like, hey man, I need more MDA. And he's like, I can't do that to you. He's like, if you take more, you're not going to feel better. And you're going to get depressed. And just don't take more MDA. I'm not selling you more. And I was like, fuck you. And then half an hour later, I was like, that was very nice of you. Thank you very much. I should not have done more MDA. MDA is a great drug, though. Worst drug I've tried. I don't know, man. The worst experience I've had on a drug was shrooms. I had a very bad trip on shrooms one time. But that's a set and setting issue. That's not a drug issue. I don't know. Besides the bad, I've never had something where I've never done. I would never do 2CE again. Maybe I've told this story on stream before. I did 2CE. The first psychedelic drug I ever took was 2CE. I was 16. So 2CE was the second drug I'd ever taken. I'd smoked weed. I hadn't been drunk yet. I'd smoked weed. I'd never drank. I didn't drink in high school at all. I only started drinking until after high school. I had done LSD, 4-ACO DMT, 2CE, magic mushrooms, cocaine, and meth. I never drank in high school once. I never once drank in high school. I had done methamphetamine under the age of 18, but I never drank in high school. So, because my mom told me not to. My mom told me, she was like very uppity about drinking, not weed, because my mom told me recently that she knew I smoked weed in high school because she could smell it while I was outside. And she didn't care. So she didn't care about weed. But I never drank because she was like, don't drink. I really don't want you to drink. So I never drank in high school. So that's how principled I was. I couldn't lie to my mom. My mom never told me not to take 4-ACO DMT. But she told me not to drink. Yeah, no, the first psychedelic I ever took was 2CE. And my friend, who's now dead, sold it to us. And we were 16. And me and my friends, all we knew about drugs was that there was like acid. Like it was like, oh, the drug that makes you hallucinate. There's mushrooms, which are physical mushrooms, and there's acid is the other one. So my friend sold it to us. He was a deep web guy, a dark web guy. And he said, this isn't LSD. Like, you're like, do your research. This is not LSD. This is 2CE. It's different. And we didn't do our research. So we bought, I think with 2CE, you take very small amounts. We didn't have this is so retarded. 2CE is one of those drugs where you take such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And taking like a slightly more is such a big difference in trip. But you take like 10 milligrams of it. So we didn't have a scale. We bought a bag of 2CE and we divvied it up between me and 3 friends. And we just divvied it up into like 4 equal piles. What looked like 4 equal piles. on the cover of a vinyl record. I don't know what vinyl record it was. I know we put it on a vinyl record, and we just licked it off the record. We didn't want to snort it. So we licked it off the record. And I've never in my life been so, not since I was 16 years old, been so fucking high on anything. I'm talking like full, like hallucinating so hard that if I, you know, when you like just unfocus your eyes, right? When you're not like looking around, you just like unfocus your eyes or like look at something. If I did that, like everything would disappear. I was hallucinating so hard that if I just looked at the same thing for like a second, everything would disappear into fractals. Like there was nothing in front of me anymore. It was just fractals in front of me, like full DMT realm. I could hear voices that weren't there, like vividly. I could hear like full voices in my ears that weren't there. I was seeing people that weren't there and having conversations like full schizophrenia with people that weren't there. And I'm like a fat 16-year-old. I was a chubby, nerdy 16-year-old who was like, I was like waiting in line to like get the new 3DS when the new 3DS came out and it had the C stick on the side. I like waited in line for it to play Smash Brothers on the DS with my friends. That I was fat. I'm like a fat kid, and I'm doing fucking like research chemicals. Anyway, I was so fucked up, and I was fucked up for like 2 days. I was like fucked up the entire next day and the day after. I remember the entire next day I was still hallucinating slightly, and I was trying to like fucking. My dad picked me up. We're at my friend's house and his mom is upstairs too. So we're in the basement of my friend's house in rural Nova Scotia, tripping balls and also trying to stay quiet. Like tripping so hard that if I did that now, I would kill myself to make it end. Like that's so, it's like tripping so fucking hard. All while his mom was upstairs and we're trying to like be so quiet that his mom doesn't come down. Like we couldn't talk. We couldn't do anything. We were just like, and for 14 hours. So I don't know. That's my experience with fucking research chemicals. I don't know. I don't know about those. If I did 2CB sounds interesting, I would do a very small amount, but I'm too old to get that fucked up on drugs now. When I do shrooms, I do under a gram. I'll do acid like once a year. And I haven't done Molly in like 5 years. I would not survive Nova Scotia. No, it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun time. Formative memories, you know? I wonder, like, if I didn't do that, I still would have been like a fat... if I didn't fry my brain with research chemicals when I was 16 years old, I would be a front-end manager at the Roby Street McDonald's in Truro, Nova Scotia, and I would weigh 300 pounds right now. Because I was like, there was a distinct shift in like, I was like a shitty little kid doing shitty little kid things, and then after that, I got weird. Like after that experience, I was never the same, and like I couldn't talk to people. Like anybody but my immediate friends, I thought were like, I got like so retarded. I would not be here without that experience. Without that experience, I would be, I would be working back of house at a fucking Walmart. So, you know, what doesn't kill you? Spain is the only place you can buy. You should have gotten HPBD. No, I have HPBD. Sorry, I don't know if this is like, I don't know how deep this lore is. I just have HPBD. I fucking it used to drive me up the fucking wall. I was in therapy actually for a little bit, and I was on anti-anxiety medic. I was on Xanax for a bit because I had HPBD and I had depersonalization for a long time. And I remember I would sit in class and it was like, this is like a year or 2 years after I was like in grade 12, and I would be in class and I would unfocus my eyes and all of the floor tiles would become fractals. And I would look at like the teacher and then I would look away and I would see the negative of the teacher still in my vision. Like I got fucked up. I fully had HPBD. Then I had depersonalization, and then I had to I had to like go on the depersonalization gave me like a crazy anxiety problem because I felt so weird. I would be like, "Fuck!" I felt like I was like complete. I was disassociated for years, and then I would I was on Xanax for a bit, and then I was in therapy, and then now I'm fine. I still have HPPD a little bit, but it's gotten a lot more. Maybe I'm just really used to it now. But I don't know. I've been fine for a long time. It's funny, man. I used to the last girl I dated. She's a sweet girl. And she was very she was also from like a shitty part of Canada. She wasn't from Toronto. And I assumed because I'm like I have a shitty background. Now, I'm a nice guy. I bring I know every cocktail bartender in Toronto. I pull up to Palm Pet. I pull up to Civil Liberties. I pull up the bar chef. I dap the bartender up. I get free shots when I sit down. I know the owners of clubs. I'm a classy guy, I've worked hard to rehabilitate my image to be sort of a classy, high status man. But I'm shitty. I'm a scumbag. I have a shitty, scummy background. And I was dating this girl for a while. A sweet girl. Nothing wrong, nothing bad to say about her at all. And I'd assumed because of where she was from, she also was shitty. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's nice to date somebody in Toronto who's not, like, from money or not expecting, like, someone to, like, be their, like, a sugar daddy. Like, just somebody who, like, gets it, right? Just a very, like, normal girl. And I would start telling her stories about growing up. And she'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't do this shit? Like, you didn't try meth when you were 16? You didn't have, like, I don't know. We had, like, between me and my core guy friends, we had, like, this group of women we would all sleep with periodically, but, like, shared them between us. And they were part of the friend group. And there was sort of, like, this, like, relationship anarchy orgy type vibe of, like, oh, there's, like, 5 guys, and there's, like, 3 girls, and then everyone just kind of, like, periodically fucks each other as you hang out in the evening. And I would, like, I don't know, I just tell her all these dirtbag stories, and she'd be like, no, I never experienced any of that. I didn't even smoke weed for the first time till I was 20, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I thought we were gonna connect on this. I thought we were gonna be really close on our shitty upbringings. But describe a polycule. No, see, it's not a polycule because we were90s. So it's just nothing to do but drugs and each other. But it's not a polycule. We weren't advanced yet. It's like it's a 90 IQ polycule. Yeah, no, it's tough because it's like I feel like there's a lot of preppy people in this city, and I like classy people. I like people who are it's nice when you go on a date with somebody. It's nice when, like, when I go on a date with somebody and the Uber comes and I open the door and they know I'm holding the door for them. Like, that's a nice feeling. But also, like, I can't relate to that. Like, I have no connection to that type of life at all. I like people who have been through, I hate this whole alpha male red pill perspective that Andrew Tate really propagated of, like, you don't want to date somebody who has trauma. Like, you don't want to date somebody who's been through stuff. Because, like, a real feminine woman, the more a woman experiences trauma, the less feminine she becomes. That's horseshit. Like, I've lived a life. Like, I've got stories. I've got fucking, I've got videos, man. I've had a weird life. I've done some whack shit. I can't date somebody. I can't spend the rest of my life with somebody who is, like, just a fucking, preppy person who grew up in a, in a privileged house and with money and shit. I can't relate to that. I do think there's something to say about, like, it's nice to date somebody who, like, can understand you on a visceral level of, like, oh, cool, like, you have a weird life. How do you go outside and meet people? I work, fucking maybe 11-hour days. All I do is socialize and work and sleep, and I'm also just hyper social. So I'm literally going to a party the second the stream's done. I don't know, make some sacrifices. Goddamn, I need more trauma. Get into alcoholism. You want to you know you're bored, you're under socialized, you're worried you're wasting your 20s. Get into drinking with people. You will get into drinking and drugs with people and book random flights to places and stay at $10 hostels and get drunk in foreign countries. None of that costs a lot of money. You can book right now. You can go on Skyscanner. You can book the cheapest flight to Europe you can find. And sometimes it's a fucking wacky place. Sometimes it's like fucking Bucharest. Okay? Antwerp. I don't know. Fucking random Zagreb, you know? You can find a flight to Zagreb in October for like $500. You can find a hostel in Zagreb for $13 a night, and that trip's gonna be like 5 days. And you can fucking book you can book work off in October. And go do it. Make some stories for you. Don't be scared to make. There's nothing stopping you from making stories for yourself. It's so easy. The stream is turning south. Sorry, I got really distracted. I didn't want to read about Epstein anymore. Hostel? No, sleep over your Tinder date. That's a dark whimsy move.